It's stressing me out. This should not be happening. I've never read it before, and I can't believe I've never read it before. I'll give you a hint. Vampires, werewolves. It's It by Stephen King. Okay, then I have The Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to go ahead and go through my physical TBR with you guys. I have quite a few books that I have yet to read. Last year I was challenging myself to read books off of my physical TBR, and when I counted last year I had 54 books unread, and I believe read about 40 or so. But, and you guys will see by the title of this video, I have over 50 books still left on my physical TBR. So I have acquired a lot of new books to be read. It's stressing me out. This should not be happening. So I want to go through all of the books in my physical TBR with you guys. You can see what it is that I have to read. Just a side note, I do get most of my books from the library. Most of my collection is thrifted or secondhand in some way. It's very rare that I buy new books. So I kind of have a random collection because if I see a book at the thrift store that I want to read, I pick it up because it's like $2 for books at the thrift store I go to. So a lot of these I do end up unhauling eventually after reading them. I do keep the ones that I loved or that just are classics or that I'm going to want to reread, things like that. Those are the ones that stay on my shelf and stay in my collection. So I kind of did like a quick little organization and put the books into piles very loosely based on genre. So hopefully we'll go through this and you can kind of get an idea of the genre the book fits into. So let's just start. Okay. So if you have watched my channel before and my previous videos, I did mention that I do read fantasy, but I don't pick it up very often because it takes a lot for me to get into a fantasy book. I have to be in the right mood and the right mindset to kind of get into the world. And if there's a magic system or just whatever it may be, the world building, and I have to be in the right mood. So I'm actually going to start with the fantasy series I am in the middle of right now. That is the Game of Thrones series. So this is the book I'm currently reading, and I'm 433 pages into it. This is Clash of Kings. So this is the second book in the Song of Fire and Ice series. And I'm really making my way through this slowly. Like I think I started this last month and I've been in a bit of a slump, so I haven't picked this up in quite a while, but I'm just giving myself time to finish the series. I'm not rushing through it. I'm taking as much time as I need individually with each book. But yes, I am on book 2. I also have the rest of the books. So this is Storm of Swords, A Feast for Crows, and finally A Dance with Dragons. And I'm really enjoying that series so far. Okay, the next fantasy series that I have on my TBR is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I don't know what prompted me to pick this up. This is an absolutely disgustingly huge book. Yeah, it's over 800 pages. So I really don't know what compelled me to pick this up. I have no idea, but I did. And I have the second book as well, A Day of Fallen Night. So I have yet to read these two. If you've read them, let me know what you think about them because I'm not sure if I'm going to like these or not, but I have them, so I should get to them at some point. Okay, and this next trilogy, guys, I've never read it before, and I can't believe I've never read it before. I feel like this series wrote the manual for fantasy. This is one fantasy series I'm actually really excited to get to. Lord of the Rings, baby. So this is the first book in the series, which is The Fellowship of the Ring. And then I have The Two Towers. And last but not least, The Return of the King. So I'm hoping to get to the series this year. But right now it's just sitting on my TBR. Okay, then I have The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I have heard nothing but good things about this series, but I have heard that it's a lot. So I don't know when I'll get around to reading this one, and I only have the first one. So if I like it, I will consider getting the second book. If not, no harm, no foul. Okay, this next one was actually a softie enough. I started reading it and I really liked it, but I put it down and I haven't picked it up yet again. So that is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. And you can see my bookmark is still in there. So I got to page 193. So I made a sufficient dent. I liked it up to the point that I was reading, but it is a little bit slower paced. So you have to be in the right mood. And I think when I was reading this one, I was starting to get slumpy, and that's my sign to step away from the book and come back to it at a later date when I'm more in the mood for it. So there's this one. This next book, I actually really want to do like a reading vlog for this book because I've never read it. I've never had the desire up until recently, like the past couple of months. I don't know what it is, but I've really wanted to read this book. Any guesses what it might be? I'll give you a hint. Vampires, werewolves, Twilight. I have never read this book. I've never had the desire to read the series. I've seen the movies. I grew up with the movies. But I know these aren't the best written books, which I don't expect them to be, but I never wanted to read them. Like I said, until recently. I've been in the mood to read about vampires. I don't know why. I have no clue why. So I actually found this at a free little library, and I just figured, I'm in the mood to read it. I've never read it, and I thought it'd be really fun to do a reading vlog for this one and just get my reactions because, like I said, I've never read the series. So I only have the first book. I don't have the entire series. We'll see how this one goes. So that's Twilight. Okay, and then I have an entire series. That is the Throne of Glass series. And when I do read these, I will be reading them in publication order. So that starts with Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, The Assassin's Blade, and excuse the sticker. Does anyone get frustrated? Like they peel off the sticker and then you're left with this and you don't get it off. I will eventually get it off, but it's staying on there for now. Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash. I got the entire series discounted on Book Outlet, so I don't feel bad that I've never read any of them. I don't know if I'll like the series, but I got them for really great price, so I can't be upset about it, and I'm excited to get into these. Okay, so next I have the 3 romance books that I actually own. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Romance is probably my least favorite genre, and I really don't own a lot of romance. Usually if I do read it, I just borrow a book from the library so I can return it. There are very few romance books I'll ever read twice, but I do own these ones. Again, a couple of them I don't know if I'll like, but I just picked them up because I found them when I was thrifting. The first one is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have a complicated relationship with Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have liked a couple of her books, but I feel like for the most part, I always feel like something's missing whenever I read her books. And yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if it's just the way that she writes or the way that I read, but something's off. I usually enjoy most of her books, but it usually just feels like there's an element that's missing that's just not hooking me. So we'll try this one. I'll see how I like this one, and hopefully it goes okay. This one is another softie enough. This is Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. And again, you can see I leave my bookmarks in the books that I softie enough. Does anybody else do that? But yeah, I softie enough this book, and I will get back to it. I made it to page 47, and I was really interested to see how this book was going to go, but I wasn't in the mood at the time to read it. So I started it, and it's really good so far. I don't know when I'll eventually get back to this one, but I am excited to get to this one. It's one I've wanted to read for a long time. So hopefully I'm in the mood to pick it up soon. This next book, I've read the first one, and I actually really liked it, which was surprising to me because this author, when I first read her, I was not a fan. So that is It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. And yeah, like I said, I ended up reading It Ends With Us. I had no interest in reading it originally, but again, I found it at the thrift store and I figured, you know what, why not? Let me see what all the fuss is about. And I actually really ended up enjoying it, which is funny because I feel like It Ends With Us is one of her more controversial books as far as like, if you like it, don't like it. I know a lot of people have issues with the content, but I feel like she did justice to a really sensitive topic. So I'm actually kind of excited to pick up this one, and hopefully it's just as good. Yeah, I guess I'll see for myself if I like it or not. All right, now we have what I would consider to be classics. I have a lot of classics because I feel like as far as owning books go, it's always good to own classics. Every time you read one, you can get something different out of it every single time. So I do have quite a few that I have yet to read. This one I actually did start once and I still have DNF'd it again. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's very good, but there's a lot of talk about the Napoleonic War and just like the French political system, which all that stuff goes over my head. I don't know that history. So those portions of the book, and there's at least where I got to, there's a lot. So that is Les Mis by Victor Hugo. This book is a monster, you guys, and it doesn't intimidate me, but I know that when I do eventually pick this one up to complete it, I'm gonna really have to take my time with it and get through it at a good pace. So hopefully I'll be able to pick this one up again soon and finally finish it. Okay, again, another softy enough. This is War and Peace by Tolstoy. I don't think I've mentioned, I'm gonna be doing a video actually of my favorite books, but my most favorite book as of right now is Anna Karenina by Tolstoy. And I have heard War and Peace is like his masterpiece, so I really do want to get through this one and just see what I think about it. This one's tough though. This one is tough for me. I don't know if it's just the version that I got, but yeah, again, see, look, I have a receipt in here because I soft DNF this, but yeah. So that's War and Peace, and I would like to eventually get to this, but I feel like this is going to be a tedious read. So if you've read this, let me know what you thought about it, and maybe that will help me pick it up sooner. Then we have The Color Purple by Alice Walker. Emma by Jane Austen. Again, I did start reading this book. I wasn't in the mood at the time, and I was getting into a slump, so I paused this. What I did read, I did enjoy. I thought it was really funny. Jane Austen is so hilarious. She has a humor that's just, I feel like, was way ahead of her time. Yeah, I'm excited to get to this one, and look how pretty this book is. I found this at the thrift store and it's in pretty good condition, and I just thought it's so cute. It's so simple, but I really like the cover of it. So that's Emma by Jane Austen. Okay. I can't believe I've never read this book. I had it on my list last year to read around the holidays because it is a Christmas book, and I never did. I got really sick and I just ended up putting it off. So I would like to read this year, and I'm going to wait till Christmas time, but it is a must read for me. It has to get read this year. That is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I'm very familiar with the story. I've seen, movies, but I've never read the book. So I'm really excited to get this one read. I feel like it's a Christmas classic, and I need to get this one under my belt. This needs to come off my physical TBR. So this year, 2025. Okay, then we have 1984. I'm again surprised I haven't ever read this book, but it was never required reading for me when I was in school, but I will get to this one soon. Okay, then I have The Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky. I struggle so much with this author's last name. So the Brothers Karamazov, you know who it's written by. Okay. Yep. Then I have The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. Then I have A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. This will be my first Hemingway ever. We'll see how this goes. 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I've tried to read this book 2 separate times, and I just struggle with this one. I don't know why. So I don't know if this one's quite for me, but we'll have to see. I will get through it eventually. Stoner by John Williams. And Dracula by Bram Stoker. Like I said, I've been in the mood for like vampires and all that kind of stuff, so I probably will actually pick this one up soon. I feel like this should be read around Halloween, but I don't know. I'm in the mood for something like this, so maybe I will read this one fairly soon. We'll see. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. The Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin. Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes. Still Alice by Lisa Genova. I've seen the movie. It's heart-wrenching, but it was really good. So I saw the book at the thrift store and I decided that I wanted to read it. Reading Lolita in Tehran by Azar Nafisi. And if I'm butchering that, I'm so sorry. I'm awful with names. Seabiscuit by Laura Hillenbrand. She's the same author that wrote one of my favorite books, Unbroken. Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. The Paris Apartment by Kelly Bowen. Sons and Soldiers by Bruce Henderson. Pachinko by Min-Jin Lee. I'm really excited to read this one. This is historical fiction, one of my all-time favorite genres, and this one just sounds amazing, so I'm really excited to get to this one. The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I have read The Secret History by Donna Tartt. That was my introduction to her. I wasn't the biggest fan of the story, but I did really like her writing, so it'll be interesting to read this one and see how I feel about it. This is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I have a younger sister who's still in high school, and this was on her required reading list, and she just raved about this book. She loved it so much. I saw it at the thrift store and had to pick it up, so based on her recommendation, I'm really excited to get to this one. And then I am in the middle of this, but this is The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. I am on the, let's see, please hold. I am on The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which is the 5th chronicle. So I'm just about finished with this. I haven't read it in a while. I picked it up, put it down, and I haven't picked it up since, and it's been months. But I will eventually pick this back up and finish the entire chronicles. Then we have Salem's Lot by Stephen King. American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I don't know how I feel about this one. I started reading it just to kind of see what it was about because I had no idea going into this book. If you've read this one, let me know. Is it worth the read, or is this one I can just unhaul and I won't be missing much? Let me know if you have read this one. About Grace by Anthony. I think it's pronounced Dear, but I'm not sure. It might be Door. I'm awful. I'm so sorry. If you recognize the author's name, he's the same author of All the Light We Cannot See, which is a really popular historical fiction book. I've read it. It wasn't my favorite. I think if you're just starting out in the genre, you probably will like it. Yeah, but I did enjoy his writing. So I'm curious to see how this one will go. I have another Gabriel Garcia Marquez book. This is Love in the Time of Cholera. The Snowman by Joe Nesbo. I found an ARC, you guys. This is Northwoods by Daniel Mason, and this is an ARC I found at the thrift store. So my first and only ARC. The Push by Ashley Audrain. I am looking forward to reading this one. Soul Survivor by Dean Koontz. I've read one Dean Koontz before. It actually was my grandpa's book, and Dean Koontz was one of his favorite authors, so I found this one at the thrift store and I picked it up. I really enjoy his writing. He has a sense of humor that just jives with my sense of humor, so I can see why he's a very popular author and why my grandpa loved him. So I'm excited for this one, and I love the cover. Like, the colors are what drew me to this book because he has so many. It's hard to know what to read, but this is the one that I picked up. Okay, then I have Us Against You by Frederick Bachman. This is the second book in the Beartown series. It's a trilogy. I have read Beartown, really enjoyed it. It's not my favorite Frederick Bachman. It wasn't a 5-star for me. I think I gave it 4 stars. But I did really enjoy it, so I will get back into the series and finish it. Then I have The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I've read one other Lucy Foley. It was The Guest List. I had a good time while reading it, but it wasn't memorable for me, so I don't know how I'm going to do with this one, but I have it. I would like to read it, so it's just a matter of when I go ahead and pick it up. Guys, we're down to the last one. This one does intimidate me just because of the sheer size of it, but it's a horror, and I love horror. It's It by Stephen King. I love a good Stephen King too, but I have to be in the mood. Stephen King is a whole experience. When you read his books, you really have to sit back, buckle in, and get ready for a Stephen King book. It's a whole world. It's a whole ride. It's a whole everything. So I have to set aside a good chunk of time to just dedicate myself to this book, but I'm honestly so excited to read this. I can't wait. Okay guys, that's it. If I counted correctly, there is 62 books on my physical TBR currently. So yeah, we need to rectify that situation. That is too many. Now, of those 62 books, 18 of them are parts of series, and there's 5 different series that I have. 62 minus 18, let's do some quick math here. 44 books. So without the series entirely, I have 44 books on my physical TBR. And then if I were to count the series instead of individually, just as one book per series, 5 series, we'll count it as 5, so that's 49. So we have 62 each individual book, and then 49 if we just count the series as a whole. So that about does it, you guys. This was my physical TBR. If you have read any of the books that you saw today, let me know if you recommend that I read it, or if there's any that you think I can just unhaul or not worth my time, then please let me know as well. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.